Greeting everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Simplified. This is the part 3 of my YouTube playlist Core Operations in SQL. Today I will discuss about group by operation along with the from clause. So I will start by explaining what is the group by clause and how it is work and move on by creating different groups, and in the last we will see how group by clause work with the aggregated function. In the last, I will write some practical query to determine total sales by item, total sales by store and item. So without further ado, let's start by taking a look at our table store inventory. So store inventory basically have four columns: store, item, amount and city. This table basically store the information about sold item across different store in a city. So let's start it by what is the group by clause. Group by clause is basically used to create group of similar data. As example, if we want to create a group on city, then we need to group the available values. So available values are Noida and again Noida, 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 and so on. So if we want to create a group on the city, then we will get a one group with the value Noida, because all the values is similar values and we can create a group on that. Now we are going to see how we can create group on a single column as well as multiple column. So let's take the first example. So in the first example, I have created a group on city column. So the city column have the same data in each and every row. So we can group the similar data. So Noida city will group into a single group. Let's take another example. In this example, I have created a group on city and item. So as you can see in the row 1, we have an item keyboard which is sold on the same city Noida. In the same table, we have another item keyboard which sold on the Noida city. So you can see the item keyboard and the city Noida is the same. So we can group these two values into a single group. So it create a single group. Similarly, for the item mouse, which also sold on Noida city, and another item mouse which sold on the Noida city. So these value also the similar value, so we can group these value as well. So it's from the another group. And similarly for the item laptop, it's create another group with the value laptop and city Noida. Let's take another example. In this example, I have created a group based on store and item. So if you see, we have a store and item. In item column, we have a item keyboard which is sold on store 1, and we have another item keyboard which is sold on store 2. So when we are wanting to create a group on store and item, then these value can be grouped. But see, in this group, keyboard is the same, but the store is different. So it will create two different group for the item keyboard. So this is the first group and this is the second group. Similarly for the item mouse, it's sold on store 1 and another mouse sold on store 2. Mouse item mouse is same, but the store is different. So it's created two different group. So this is the group third and this is the group fourth. Now take a close look on the item laptop. So you can see laptop is sold on store 1 and another laptop is sold on store 1. In this case, store 1 and the item is the same. So it create a single group. So store 1 is grouped into store 1, this one, and laptop will group into a laptop. So this value create a single group. Hope it's clear now. Now that we covered group by clause, how group by clause work, and created different group based on single columns and the multiple columns. Let's talk about aggregation in SQL Server. Aggregation is very important aspect in SQL Server, and in real time scenario 99% aggregated function will used with the group by clause. So let's see the aggregation. So aggregation is nothing but it perform the calculation on multiple values and return a single values. The frequently used aggregated function is sum, max, min, average, and count. Let's take an example of sum. So if we want to apply a sum on amount column, then it will take all the values, multiple values or all the values in on amount column and adding each and every value and return the sum of all the values. Let's take another example of max. So if we apply max on amount column, it will take all the values on amount column and figure out the maximum value. So maximum value in this case is 9,000. Let's see another example with count. Count will take all the values from amount column and count each and every row. So in this case, this is the row 1, this is the row 2, and so on. Row 6, it and count will return the 6. Let's take a look at that query. So this query is basically perform the aggregation sum on amount column. So it will take all the values from amount column and will add each and every value and return the sum. Let's take another example in which we want to find the total sale by item. What does this mean? This mean is it want the total sale of each and every item. So we want to achieve the total sales of keyboard. We want to total sales of mouse and laptop. So if we want to perform an aggregated function, then it created a group on same kind of values like keyboard and keyboard. This value keyboard will be grouped into a single column, and in this case the calculation is performed on 200 and 300. So we will add 200 and 300 using the aggregated function. So it will return 5000 500, sorry. So keyboard is grouped into a single value, and again in second step aggregation perform amount column and it will add 200 and 300 and result into a 500. Single value will 500. Keep in mind aggregation will perform on the numerical column. Now let's take a look how previous example work and queries executed. So we want to achieve this functionality. We want to achieve this functionality. So what will happen is, first our from clause is executed on the inventory table and we will get all the inventory table. For your understanding purpose, I just arrange the same values. Let's see, when the from clause is executed we will get the inventory table, and after that the group by clause is executed. So when the group by clause is executed, we will get a, we will get a group on the item. So keyboard and keyboard will be grouped and give the result keyboard. But these keyboard have the same kind of values, and this is the string value will group in a single value. Now we have a two numeric value. We need to create a single group in this value. So we will perform the aggregation. So what aggregated do is, based on this group, it will sum each and every values and return the 5000. For the similar operation will happen with the item mouse, and similar operation will be happen with the laptop. Now let's take a look on another example in which we are going to create a group based on column store and item, and and calculating the total sales using the aggregation sum. So let's see the query. So in this query, first from clause is executed and we will get all the table. Then group by clause is executed and create a group based on item and store. So see this table. This table have the item keyboard which is sold on store 1, and another item keyboard, same item keyboard sold on store 2. So when we are creating the group based on store and item, the item will be grouped into a single value, but store can't be grouped because this is the different value. So for the keyboard item we will get two different group. See in this another table, this is the group 1 and this is the group 2, and we will get the same amount. Similarly for the item mouse, we will sold the mouse, the item mouse sold on store 1, and similar item mouse will sold on store 2. So mouse, the value of mouse is same but the store is different, so we can't create a single group. So in this case we will also get the two different group. So see, this is the group 3 and this is the group 4. Let's see another item, laptop. So the similar item sold on store 1 and the similar item sold on store 1. In this case you can see the value of store is the same and the item is same. So these value can be grouped and form a single group. See there, so it is created a group 5 and this value is grouped into a single value, but we are performing the aggregation. So now the sum is performed on this two value and will add these two value into a single value. Hope the group by clause with the aggregation is clear. Now we will look what is the common issue when we are writing a SQL query with group by clause. So if you can see, this query is wrong because we are creating a group item, but we are selecting two different values, item and city. So if you are able to see this table, so first is from clause is executed and we will get inventory table, and in the inventory table we are going to create a item group. So this item group is created, and now we are retrieving both item and city, and city is not available in this table, so we will get an error. So let's see what the error says. Error says is the city is invalid in the select list because it is not contained in either an aggregated function or group by clause. Means is that we need to create, if we want to retrieve two different group, item and city, then we need to specify in the group by clause. See this query. In this query we specify item and city in group by clause and then retrieve the two different group. As we see in the last slide, we now that we covered how we can calculate total sales by city, total sales by store and item, now take a look how we can calculate total numbers of rows sold by a store. So for this, first let's see the query. So first, from clause is executed on our table and it will create a group on store. So see, we have a store, and store, this is the store 1, this is the store 2, this is the store 3, this is the store 4, this is the 5, and this is the 6 one. So when we perform the group by clause in store, this store will be grouped into a single value. So we will get the store 1, and in this store 1, aggregation count function is executed. So count, what will count is do is count each and every row. So in store 1 group 1 we have 3 rows, so it will return 3. And similarly in store 2 we have 3 values, similar values, so it is create second group on store 2 and then perform the aggregated function count. So count will similarly count the number of rows in this group. So the number of rows in this group is same, 3. So now we cover all the aspect of group by and aggregated function. Hope it's now it's clear how we can perform group by, how we how we will create multiple groups and perform the aggregation on the group. In the next video we will discuss the having clause. We will look at what is the difference between where and having clause, and practicing some SQL queries to figure out duplicate rows and finding top groups. Thank you.